This podcast is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. It's the spooky season, but updating your home with new windows and doors doesn't have to be scary. Right now at Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania, you can get one window or door and get another window or door at 40% off, and an additional $200 off your project to boot. Call 717-727-7558 or drop by rbacentralpa.com/deals to get on this one now. While homicides are down in Philadelphia, they're still not what they were before the pandemic. In Mechanicsburg, residents are still being asked to conserve water. A huge Amazon fulfillment center will open up next week. And this, to some, is one of the most promising areas of cancer research. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in a PA. The latest iteration of the FBI's annual Crime in the Nation report shows how violent crime dropped about 1.7% nationwide this year when compared to 2022, reports Philly Voice. Philadelphia reflects this trend, although certain areas of crime, like homicide, are still nowhere near to what they were prior to the pandemic. Some crimes are seeing dramatic spikes, too. Car thefts in the city, for example, increased by more than 100% within that time frame. Experts are attributing that to certain TikTok trends showing how to properly break into certain car models from brands like Kia. The Pennsylvania American Water Company issued mandatory conservation on Tuesday to about 42,000 customer connections in the Mechanicsburg water system, reports PennLive. It soon came out that this was because a petroleum-type odor and sheen had been reported coming from a creek in Silver Spring Township. The State Department of Environmental Protection eventually determined the source of this contamination was a leak in an underground storage tank. Pennsylvania American Water is still asking customers to conserve water by up to 15% as of the recording of this episode, although it has confirmed that the water is safe to drink and to use as normal as the Silver Spring water treatment plant was taken offline. Amazon's all set to open a new 1.2 million square foot fulfillment center next Tuesday, states the York Daily Record. The center is located near Thomasville in York County and will become one of 40 Amazon operation facilities that call Pennsylvania home. So far, the company says it's invested over $21.6 billion in the state and has created over 25,000 direct jobs. Fox Chase Cancer Center, for those of you unfamiliar, is a cancer research facility that's based out of Philadelphia, says the Philadelphia Inquirer. And the center has just announced it's investing in a startup that develops what many believe to be one of the most promising areas of cancer research. Nucleus Radiopharma is a maker of what's known as radiopharmaceuticals. These drugs diagnose and treat cancer by injecting patients with radioactive molecules that can target solid tumors more precisely than traditional methods. As far as diagnostics go, the radioactive molecules light up a tumor, which allows for doctors to see it more easily and make a more accurate diagnosis. The radiation injection also targets the tumor on a more personal, direct level than, say, chemotherapy, with less toxicity, as it only goes to where the tumor is and nowhere else in the body. This investment is a first for Fox Chase, although the exact amount hasn't been disclosed. That wraps up today's episode. Just as a heads up, I'm going to be away tomorrow and Monday to return Tuesday. I'm going to be doing a little leaf peeping myself. Until Tuesday, I'm Claudia Dimuro. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of your week before we talk again for another episode of Today in a PA. This podcast is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. It's the spooky season, but updating your home with new windows and doors doesn't have to be scary. Right now at Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania, you can get one window or door and get another window or door at 40% off, and an additional $200 off your project to boot. Call 717-727-7558 or drop by rbacentralpa.com/deals to get on this one now.